So in 12.3, we're going to look at inscribed angles. So if you remember before from the first section, if we had an arc that went to the center, then it was going to be congruent to that angle measure. So for example here, the angle was 20, so then that would make the arc 20. So what we're going to look at today is a little bit different. So we're going to look at when it does not go to the center of the circle. So when it does not go to the center, I want you to write down that if you're given the angle and you're going to the arc, you're going to multiply by 2. When you're given the arc and you go to the angle, you're going to do the opposite of that and you're going to divide by 2. And again, that's just based on what you are given, and we're going to take a few looks at those examples. Few things real quick. If angles share an arc, then the angles are going to be congruent. If the arc is a semicircle, then the angle will be a right angle. And if you have a quadrilateral in a circle, then the opposite angles, so B and D would be supplementary, and C and A would be supplementary. And remember, supplementary means equals 180 degrees. So we're going to look at a few examples. The first example, we have to find angle A and find B. So angle A is with this arc. So when we extend our angle, that matches up with the 60. So we're given the angle, we're going to the arc. So again, angle to arc, we are multiplying by 2. So we're going to take 60 times 2, and that's going to give us 120, which is A. Now B is going to be a little bit different because we have to put 2 arcs together. So again, B is our angle. So that means that we are going to go arc to angle. So we need to divide by 2. But first we need to figure out what the entire arc is. So if you extend the legs of the angle, then you can see exactly where the arc is. So our arc is actually 30, plus we just found this is 120. So the arc is 150 total. And then we're going to divide by 2, which gives us 75 for B. So again, you first need to determine if you're given the angle or the arc, and then figure out what you're finding so that way you can determine if you're going to multiply or divide. Example 2 goes with our corollary. If they share an arc, so if I trace over this angle here, again, extend outside the circle so you can see where the arc is, and then I'm going to extend this one. The arc that they both have is right here in the middle. So they both share that arc, so that means that the angles are going to be congruent. So then angle 2 is going to be 38 degrees. For this one here, we have a circle. We have to figure out x and y. So a full circle is 360 degrees. We already have this part of it, which is 230 degrees. So if we take that away to find the red part, that's going to give us 130 degrees for y. So that's going to be our arc, and so then we're going to go from arc to angle. So again, we're going to divide by 2, so we're going to take 130 divided by 2, and that's going to give us 65 degrees. And our last example was a quadrilateral. So just the thing to remember with quadrilateral is that the opposite angles inside the quadrilateral are supplementary. So right here, we've got a pair of opposite angles. We've got A and 68. So we've got A plus 68 equals 180. So when we subtract 68 from both sides, we get A equals 112 degrees. And as you go, you should label your picture so that way, in case you need to use any of that later, you can. So now, if we look here, B is here, but none of the arcs go there. So we have to extend our angle. So if we extend the angle A that we just found, that gives us this entire arc if we multiply it by 2. So we're first going to do that. We're going to take the angle to the arc, so 112 times 2, and that's going to give us 224 as the entire arc. So for B, though, we only want this part here. So that means we need to subtract this red part. So we're going to subtract 104 which is going to give us 120 degrees for B. Then we're going to do the same concept to figure out C. So again, where my arc is right here, the C part, but I'm going to extend the angle I already have, so we're going to extend 71. So if we take 71 times 2, so angle to arc, we get 142 degrees. So that is going to be the entire arc. But again, we just want C, so we can get rid of this 104, and that'll leave us with C. So we're going to subtract 104. So we're going to get that C equals 38 degrees. So you still have to combine everything you know with circles, knowing that circles equal 360 degrees. Semicircles are 180. You have to combine all that in with switching from angle to arc, so multiplying or dividing by 2.